Your husband didn't just die on a mission. Someone made sure he didn't come back. That sentence was the first thing that froze Linda Harris in place inside the Navy's Internal Investigation Office. Linda Harris was no stranger to pressure. In her role as a tactical analyst, she knew that numbers and vague reports often hid brutal truths. But nothing could have prepared her to face the truth about her husband. Her husband, Mark Harris, a special operations technician with the Rapid Response Team, had been reported dead 3 weeks earlier due to a technical malfunction during a mission. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to Family Tales by Ethan so you never miss out on these fascinating true stories. And let us know in the comments what you're watching today. Linda didn't shed a tear, didn't scream. She only asked one question, her voice hoarse and faint. Why are you telling me this? The man delivering the message, Sergeant Jonathan Pike, answered bluntly, because the official report is fake. And if you don't investigate, no one else will. Linda, a service member herself working in tactical analysis, immediately understood the larger issue. His words were a trigger. She was the wife of a soldier. She could not accept a meaningless death hidden behind procedure. That night, Linda went through Mark's entire mission file on her own. She had to work after hours, under the cold fluorescent lights, fighting her way through the security system. She used her Level B clearance and Mark's old access codes, carefully navigating each step to bypass the firewalls. The computer screen cast a pale blue glow on her tense face. She didn't find any obvious system errors, but on the very first night, she saw several things that didn't make sense. The final communication timestamp had been altered, the team formation data was deleted, and the mission map didn't match the recorded route. More importantly, she discovered that the mission code had been hidden under a layer of decoy data, clear evidence of deliberate interference. She scrolled through the personnel list. Her eyes stopped at the name Captain Daniel Cross. Cross had previously clashed with Mark over operational procedures. Mark had once said he liked to cut corners to get things done faster. Now, Cross was also the only one who had received a rapid promotion immediately after the mission. The more Linda examined the file, the more certain she became. This wasn't an accident. The next day, Linda returned to the unit and began by checking the encrypted communication data. She didn't just find inconsistencies. She discovered that Mark's team signal logs had been compressed and overwritten with ghost data, creating an unacceptable gap in the record. The system technician, clearly nervous and glancing around repeatedly, explained, "To do something like this, you'd need top-level command access and the Rapid Response Team's security credentials. This isn't a technical error. The team commander is the only person authorized to delete that segment." Linda wrote everything down without saying a word. At noon, Linda met Laura Stein, an old friend from the Signal Intelligence Division. Laura looked tense, scanning the crowded cafeteria as if afraid someone might overhear. "I heard Mark objected to the target approach plan," Laura whispered. "He said it was too risky and could cause unnecessary casualties." She also revealed something more alarming. Every record of Mark's objection had disappeared from the secondary storage system. Linda exhaled slowly. Mark was always cautious, never reckless. Later, Linda reviewed the post-mission interview footage of Cross. He answered every question calmly. Too calmly. She ran the audio through a voice stress analyzer and noticed that Cross's stress vibrations were extremely low, far lower than normal. When he spoke about the moment Mark went missing. She also realized that Lieutenant Gavin Brooks had been on Cross's wing for nearly every mission, and he was the closest person to Mark at the time of his death. Even more suspicious, Brooks was the only member of the team who had never been interviewed after the mission. He was the missing link. Linda arranged to meet Brooks. She chose a cafe outside the base to avoid drawing attention. Brooks had barely sat down when he blurted, "I don't know anything else. The report is already clear." His tone was anything but natural. Linda placed a family photo of Mark and Brooks on the table. She didn't confront him directly. "I'm not here to accuse you. I just want to understand what happened to Mark." "This isn't about a report," Linda said, her eyes sharp. "This is about your conscience. You can lie to me, but you can't lie to the man who trusted you." Brooks lifted his coffee cup, his hand trembling slightly. "Mark, he was the best in the team. But things happened on that mission that no one could predict." Linda delivered the deciding blow. "Then why is there an 8-minute gap in the mission data?" Brooks froze. Linda continued, her voice quieter. And I'm not asking about the deleted minutes. I'm asking why Mark's gun shows no trace of having been fired. After a moment, he muttered, I can't talk here. That evening, they met again in the underground parking garage of a shopping center. No one else was around. Brooks exhaled sharply. Mark didn't die in an accident. Someone shot him while he was separated from the team. I didn't see the shooter's face, just a muzzle flash. But I recognized the gun. It was a modified personal sidearm, tuned for long-range precision. The kind Cross uses for his marksmanship drills. Brooks looked terrified. If you try to report this, they'll crush you. Cross has connections with the higher-ups. All they have to say is that Mark died because he broke protocol. Linda replied, I'm not looking for revenge. I just want the truth. And if you don't help, they'll erase everything. Brooks stayed silent for a long moment, then finally said, I'll give you what I kept. But after that, I'm out. The next day, Brooks secretly handed Linda a USB. This is the audio recording from the mic on my helmet, he said anxiously. I backed it up before the system was altered. I don't know what's in here, but once you hear it, you'll understand why I'm scared. Linda plugged the USB into her laptop. Cross's voice burst out, not through radio, but close-range audio. Cut Mark out of the formation. Don't let him drag the whole mission down. Mark's voice replied, There's something wrong with this plan. We need to change direction. Then a sharp gunshot echoed, extremely close and unmistakably clear. A single shot. After that, the signal cut off completely. Linda could no longer deny it. Mark had been eliminated. She brought the evidence to the Internal Investigation Office. The duty officer said bluntly, You should stop. This is sensitive. I can't open a case without authorization from upper command. Linda understood perfectly. The system was trying to protect Cross. She called Major Eric Dalton. Dalton had worked with Mark and hated Cross's reckless leadership. Dalton agreed to help her for a personal reason. Mark saved my life on a mission in Kabul 2 years ago. I owe him. I'll protect Brooks as a witness. That evening, Linda met Dalton. He listened to the recording. Linda, this is enough to open a criminal investigation. But it has to follow protocol. Otherwise they'll deny everything and erase all evidence. So what do I need to do? We need an official confrontation with witnesses and full recording. And the one person who has to face this is Cross. The confrontation was held the next morning in a small conference room inside the base. Present were Linda, Captain Cross, Major Dalton, and 2 independent investigators. Cross showed clear irritation. I don't understand why this meeting is necessary. The report was already conclusive. Dalton spoke bluntly. We have evidence that your report does not match the actual data. Linda opened her laptop and played the audio recorded from Brooks' helmet mic. When the gunshots sounded, Cross slammed his hand on the table, a new action, though he didn't seem genuinely surprised. One of the investigators asked, Captain Cross, do you have anything to explain? Cross replied, This recording lacks context. Mark broke formation on his own. I followed protocol to complete the mission. The gunshot was from the enemy. Dalton countered, his voice sharp and unwavering. We analyzed the audio. And more importantly, we have the ballistic report from your weapon. The bullet found in Mark's body matches the type used only by your custom-modified personal handgun. You can't deny that. Cornered, Cross remained silent for nearly a full minute. The entire room waited. Finally, he confessed, bitterness seeping into his voice. Fine. Yes, I fired. Mark was going to report me for altering the mission plan. I couldn't let him jeopardize the whole team. The mission was more important than one soldier. It wasn't a direct confession, but it was more than enough for the official record. Cross was detained on the spot. Linda felt no relief, no satisfaction. She only felt that things could finally end the way they were supposed to. Out in the hallway, Dalton said quietly, Mark always believed you were strong enough to face the hard things. Today, you proved him right. Linda nodded. She had never wanted revenge. She only wanted the truth, the stark truth she had been forced to confront for months.